Well, who doesn't love a picnic? And I'm here with Christina Hitchcock. Hello, Christina.
Hi.
And we love picnics because of the food and the fun and the gathering. And the 4th of July picnics are really great fun. And a lot of us bring recipes that have been in the family.
Yeah.
And today, that's what we're going to celebrate.
Yes.
Right?
So I'm so excited to be sharing this recipe today because I realize I have not yet shared this on my website at all.
Nice.
It's my grandmother's molasses baked bean recipe. I grew up eating it since I can remember.
Well, thank you for sharing it with our
I'm
viewers
excited.
today.
This is so good.
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do for our baked beans is we need to dice up an onion. So I just have a regular, either a yellow or a white onion. Just get that peeled
Off of it. So, are we going to mince this onion up, or do you leave them in longer pieces?
Well, you could do whatever you like. So my mother usually leaves them in longer pieces. I like a fine dice on mine, so it's entirely
Okay, so
it's entirely up to you. Yeah,
Great.
whatever you like. So to dice an onion, you do cuts long ways, and then you just go the opposite,
Great.
watching your fingers, of course.
Right.
And then you go cross.
Yes.
So it's 3 cuts, and you get a perfect dice, and
Beautiful.
it's super fast.
Yeah, that is fast. Great.
Yeah, so we're going to use the entire onion.
Okay.
If you have family members that don't like onions in
Yeah.
their food, and we all have those picky family
True.
members,
Yes.
you could grate this really fine on a
Wow.
rasp grater because you'll get the flavor of the onion, but you won't get any of those pieces.
Well, I like
so
it.
if you want to
It's
like,
nice and sneaky.
yeah, if you want to sneak some in there for the flavor.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so we're going to start assembling our baked beans right in our baking dish. So this is just a 13 by 9 baking dish.
Okay.
And everything goes in there. So get those diced onions.
Baked beans are the best for a side dish, in my opinion.
They're classic.
Yes.
It's a classic recipe. Okay, so
Okay.
the basis of our beans is 4 cans of pork and beans. And we're just going to put all of them in there.
Okay. Excellent. So these just do not have anything else in them.
Nope.
They're just plain pork and beans.
Just the plain cans of
Right.
pork and beans.
right.
And if you can get sometimes you can find the bigger
Bigger
cans,
ones.
you can use those just as long as the measurements add up. And this
All
is
right.
a really flexible recipe. Like
Yeah.
most of the time I don't even measure. I made it so long for so many years. Now we need some brown sugar. We're going to sweeten these up. So can you get me half a cup of the brown sugar?
All right, let's load
Yep.
this baby up. How's
There.
that? Good?
Yep, that's good.
All right, just dump it in?
Dump it in.
Okay.
Doesn't get easier than that.
No, I like it.
Then we're going to add some molasses. So I love the deep flavor of molasses. So that's there. And this is one of my favorite kinds of measuring cups. It's a plunger. So for
Yes.
sticky ingredients like molasses,
Oh,
it makes it so much
interesting.
easier. And I'm almost at the end of my jar.
So difficult to get it, to get it out
It is.
when you're cleaning them.
But look at that.
Oh, that's great.
You just plunge it out. So we're going to use the same measuring cup. And I'm going to add, you know what, we're going to make it easy. We're just going to take the top right off.
Right.
We're going to add some ketchup. So we're going to get some sweetness from the ketchup as well.
Right.
We're just
What is that, like about a cup maybe?
half a cup.
Half a cup.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're just building our layers of flavor here.
Okay. The molasses is going to be nice. I want that, and the sugar, want that all like kind of caramelized.
It does. It bakes up so nice. And then to this, we just have to add a little bit of my all-purpose seasoning blend. That's a given. Or salt and pepper if you don't have this,
All right.
just to season it up. And then we'll give this all a stir and get everything combined.
All right.
No extra dishes.
This is nice. You make it all in the
Yep.
same dish. Great.
Okay, we have one last step. We are going to add some bacon to the top.
How perfect is that?
Bacon makes everything better.
Yes, it
So, okay, so this is a dilemma in my family. We go back and forth on this. I chop my bacon up, but my mother and my grandmother would lay strips across the
Yes,
top.
I've seen
Yeah.
the strips mostly.
So you could do it either way,
Yeah.
but I find that everybody gets a little bit of bacon.
I know, yeah. 'cause
when you
then
do it this
everybody
way.
takes the strips, and then
Yeah, then
there's
you're
not
not,
enough
left
for
with anything.
everyone.
So it's entirely up to you if you want to do your bacon in strips or pieces.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that bacon's going to add some great
Oh, that
flavor.
smoky flavor, yep.
Right.
Okay. And I just like to kind of break it apart across the top.
Right.
We're not being precise here. It's all gonna bake down. All right, so there is our last of the bacon. So now we are going to pop this into a 350-degree oven for about an hour. All of the molasses and brown sugar is going to caramelize with the beans, and the bacon's gonna render.
Good stuff.
It's gonna be good.
Coming up next.
Well, while the beans are in the oven, we're going to make a nice patriotic spritzer.
Yay!
All right, nice and easy and refreshing. Well, while the beans are in the oven, we're going to make a nice patriotic spritzer.
Yay!
All right, nice and easy and refreshing. So we have this nice clear container so you can see the red, white, and blue, and this is my grandma's container.
I love it. It's got that cute fireworks
Yeah,
display on the
thanks.
side.
So we're gonna add some ice first. Let's just put a whole bunch of ice in there. And this kind of is the white of the red, white, and blue theme today. So, all right, I think that's looking good right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to add our simple syrup. And simple syrup is 1 part sugar, 1 part water, and you boil it until it's all dissolved. So we'll
That's
put
such a
that in
nice
there.
sweetness.
Yeah, it does, right? Okay, so Christina, would you chop some strawberries? We're
Sure.
gonna put some berries in there. We have a half a cup of strawberries, and we're going to use a half a cup of blueberries, of course, for our blue. And Christina's gonna
Yeah, we got you some
dice
there.
those up. Look nice and colorful.
They're so fresh too. This is the
Yeah.
perfect time of the year for this.
I know, right? It's beautiful.
There you go.
Okay, now you could just plop those in if you
them
want.
all. Look at
how
that.
colorful
I
it
love
looks,
it.
right? All right. So now we're going to put the wine in.
And what kind of wine are you using?
We're using Chardonnay. We want a nice dry wine, but it's to your preference. And
Okay.
I like Chardonnay, so that's why we're doing it. So the wine, you just really have to fill it up about 3/4 of the way.
Okay.
You know, because we need some room for our next ingredient. So let's go to, we're going to do that. All right, so our next ingredient is the club soda.
Okay.
Because we want it nice and fizzy and
Fizzy.
sparkly.
Refreshing.
Yeah, so we're going to just put the rest of this in and fill it to the top. And
Perfect.
how simple is that?
I know. I
That's
love
all
it.
we need.
It's so
right?
festive.
So then we're going to stir this up and mix it. Isn't this pretty?
I love it.
And there they are, the Patriotic Spritzer. Well, Christina, thank you so much for this delicious recipe and a nice homage to your grandmother, too.
You are so welcome. It was my pleasure.
So tell everybody where they can get the recipe and a bunch of other ones.
Sure. You can find this recipe along with all kinds of other quick and easy, tried and true recipes on my website, itisakeeper.com.
We'd like to wish everyone a
Happy 4th of July.
Cheers!
Cheers!